Hello everybody, Comrade Kelly here. Welcome to an Age of Civilization 2 beginner's guide video. So if you're hoping for some super in-depth guides on how to play Age of Civilization 2, I don't think this video is for you. This is just my own take on how I usually play Age of Civilization 2. So if you already know this game, this video probably won't help that much. But I do have one special trick that I will share in this video. It's super like game breaking. Some of you may already know. A lot of you probably still doesn't know this like broken system in this game. So please stick in the video if you want to find out what that is. And now let's just start a normal game and show you the super basic things around. I probably won't explain every single game mechanics, but I will try my best to make beginners understand this one. So I want to play a nation that's pretty small and like surrounded by some pretty strong allies right now. So what could that be? You can try the Nevers. It probably wouldn't hurt to try. Province is pretty decent too. Brittany. Let's just choose actually no, let's just choose somewhere in the Italian peninsula. I think Siena should be decent enough. So yeah, let's play Siena right now. Press play. So you can see you're greeted with this screen right now. What you do usually is you slide it up to a certain point. They would usually put a line where you put them. So what this does is basically it maximizes the way you earn money without keeping the population pissed at you. So right now you can see I'm still earning 0.0685, so I'm barely earning any happiness, but at least I'm not losing any too. So if you just tax the hell out of them, you can see they lose 2 happiness per turn, which is seriously gonna help your economy and maybe start some rebellion in your nation. So you wouldn't want that, so put that in the line where people won't get pissed. For investment in goods, I would usually just leave them in the lines they've designated to. As for research, I wouldn't really put too much into it, so just usually like this. Or you can put a bit more, it all depends on your gameplay, but I usually just put it around here. As for the technology points, I usually invest most of my points on population growth. Economic growth is pretty important too, income taxation too. And after that, you can just like decide what you wanna put your points on, but usually I focus on population point, military upkeep. As for colonization cost, that's a bit like the weird one here. So if you're playing a nation in near Africa or the South American or the whole American continent in general, probably be best to invest a bit of points too in the colonization cost, because that might help you quite a bit. Or if you're a European nation or just some nation out here wanting a piece of land in the American continent, if that was your ambition in the game, then yeah, just invest a bit on the colonization cost. So after that, let's go to Siena right now. So you press more. So there are some buildings you see, usually tend to stay away from that super early game on. I think the best way to improve your economy early on is to just invest. I think that's really the best way or the most optimizable way to earn money as you go. If you're a big nation where like investing in all the province might be a bit tedious, you can also do the easier job, which probably wouldn't give you as good of a result, is just building farms and workshop. So what farms does is basically they increase your population. More population equals more taxes. So the more tax you get, the more money you get for your country. So go figure. And more population also means you get more recruitable population. You can recruit more soldiers in a certain province now. Workshop, all it does is improve your economy. So there we go. Library improves like the amount of knowledge point you get, I guess, per turn, and if that bar fills up, it gives you 1 technology points. Then yeah, repeat the process. Armory basically just makes the unit there cheaper. I rarely go for this. Same with supply camp. You can just read what they do. So military upkeep minus 20%. Military upkeep minus 20%. So you can really make the place here super cheap to run your army around. So if you're struggling with a super expensive army, you can usually send them to the to a province with armory and supply camps. So enough of that, enough of the super basic stuff. Let's go on with, let's say if you're at war already. So at the start of the game, you have to wait 4 turns. I think that's a balancing system. So you can just bomb rush your enemies. You give them time to build up. So as you can see here, I got a pretty powerful neighbor province, like 27,000 economy compared to my 5,000. So how do I declare war on them right now instantly? So what you can do is basically abuse a game mechanics that Lucas probably didn't thought too much about it. So let's say here, Ferran, they have 2 province, they have 14k, they're pretty powerful. So you can do trade requests with them. You can see they don't really like me, -7. But that doesn't really matter because like I said, this game mechanics is broken as hell. So as you can see here, I went to their trade requests, I went to their side of the deal. I want them to declare war on Florence. All I have to do is give them 100 gold. That's all you have to give them for them to declare war. So if you press next turn, I guarantee you the AI will always accept the terms. So I've seen AI betray their allies. I've seen AIs betray their vassal state. I've seen AIs betray a nation where they have really good relationship with for just 100 gold. So you probably see how this system is broken now. So, and after that I can start building up my army. So as you can see, they're at war with each other now. You can see our proposal was accepted and now they're at war with each other. And now I can also in turn send in my declare war on them too. So Florence will now face a 2-way war. So as you can see, I'll try to do something sneaky. Hopefully they don't build up anything there. But yeah, so now you're at what war? You should have an overwhelming advantage. As you can see there, they built 2k units. I didn't even see. And you can see Florence already took their, actually not Florence, yeah, Ferrara already took the capital, Florence. And what I've noticed too, going at war with all this nation, it is better off to just defend and let them waste their manpower on you. After that, you can do a counter attack and just sweep through them. So for now, if I do an attack here, that would be pretty costly. I might even lose the attack. And after that, I'll leave my empty province to like this 174 stack of units here. So as you can see, they send 1,000 guys to attack my 2007. That's a pretty bad move for them. And you can see they're gonna suffer heavily for that. So as you can see, they lost all the attackers and I lost 500. So half of whatever they sent to me. So hopefully Florence doesn't just take them out in one sweep. I want a bit of land too. And sadly, they took them out. So what can you do now since Florence took everything? Again, you can use the broken system. They want a peace with me. I don't think so. So you may have noticed that I didn't get a chance to grab any more land because I was a bit like stupid at handling this. So some of you guys probably would have done this better. So I'm gonna disband half of my army so I can at least get economy right now. So yeah, you notice how actually I'm still at war with them. So I can just quickly grab their land up right now. So boom, I took a province from Florence. So now I'm a 2-province nation now. And you notice I probably may have made Ferrara a bit too powerful now. They're at 32,000 now. So what you want to do is repeat the process what I did early on. And get a bit of cash first. So this time, do it on like super weak nation. So we got a 1-province nation over here. Do the same thing. Actually no, you make them not defensive pack, sorry. Declare one this guy, I'll give you gold. Same thing with you, you're a 1-province nation. Declare war on this guy. Hopefully they waste their, or not a collision. That's the thing I notice about collision is the AIs rarely accept them. So all you have to do is just make them declare war on each other. Should be simpler. So now you build up your army again. Hopefully they both accept, because yep, you can see they both accepted. And now it's time for me to join the war too. So I'm gonna hopefully take their capital. As you can see, the disadvantage of attacking first. But as you can see already, they're already suffering quite a bit of losses in the battlefield. You can see their country's about to be dead soon. You can peace negotiation with them. Take another province for yourself, and boom, you got the next threat gone. So we can see who's next biggest threat. As you can see already, I'm already 20k, so I'm pretty equal with my neighbors. So what you want to do now is, again, repeat the process. Find a weaker neighbor. Urbino, I'm not sure. Hopefully the Papal State doesn't declare one. I want you to declare war with each other. As you can see, they accepted, so I'm gonna send my boys near the camp. Hopefully I get a chunk of their land, and hopefully they don't get killed off immediately. So that's what I'm hoping for. They don't get killed immediately. Shoot, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, another thing I want to point out is having your infantry near water is pretty expensive for your country. And as you can see, I messed that up a bit. So yeah, if you don't mess up like me, you should be able to grab the capital city a while ago. But I accidentally pressed the wrong turn, so that's my bad. But yeah, I think you get the gist of this already. You abuse the diplomacy system to make yourself stronger than you really should be. So let's say if I'm feeling a bit more ambitious, I can go for Papal State, but I have to make Naples declare war on them first. And hopefully bomb rush them. So what I did there was probably not the most optimized way to do it. What I usually do is like take about 10 turns to prepare on a smaller nation. So yeah, here's another tip for this game. It is a bad idea to underestimate your enemies, because you end up with situation where you do well at first, right? But then suddenly, if your neighbor is a pretty big country, let's say a Soviet Union and during the World War II scenario, you push all the way to Siberia, and now you've suddenly run out of soldiers, let's say in the southern sector of your push. So what this does is basically what the Soviet Union can do. They can just recruit people in their province while you can't, because you occupy the province. You can't recruit the population there. So they'll push you back super hard with a super small army too usually. And that will really annoy you and like mess up your invasion and like make the war just grindier than it really should be. So what I would usually suggest is take your time preparing to attack. So it's never a bad idea to overestimate your enemy. Never underestimate them, because that can really cock you up so badly if you do it. But yeah, that's just my thought on like going to war. Just always take a lot of time to prepare to invade someone. Let's say if you're Poland and you wanna take on like Lithuania, you may at first do well, right? You may like push them all the way back to Kiev, take a few provinces over here, but then suddenly there's a sudden like hidden army, like let's say a 5,000 stack hidden here, and just destroys your whole push in one side. So what this does is, since you have 0 people around this area and you can't really recruit it, they can just grab all the land back and just basically restart all your progress. And you know, you have to go through the tedious stage of recruiting people and hopefully sending them back to the army. And it's gonna be a big back and forth war that's super gonna cost your country quite a lot of money and time. So again, take your time to prepare. And again, if you remember what I just taught you, abuse the system. So if I'm Poland, I can ask Odoyev and Ryazan and maybe Crimea to declare war on them. And yeah, I can just push on my own in this side and then usually S up the AI. So again, you've probably seen how I abuse the AI now, and if you do a bit more smarter move instead of what I just did there, you probably would have gotten a bit better results. So time for the assimilation. How do you effectively do it? So some of you may, when you first started the game, for me at least, when I saw this province stability system. What I basically did was I went around, I chose a country, I pressed like confirm, then I went around to look for another province that's like red, and I find confirm. So if you're a big nation and you just declare war on someone, that system is super like tedious to do and ineffective as hell. So this is a game mechanics. Most of you probably already know this, but let's just go to a scenario I played. So let's say Kurdistan. So if you know, Kurdistan starts off as a pretty tiny province, but with the trick I've just told you, as you can see, I've gobbled up quite a bit of land in the Middle East as the Kurds. And with this, I was basically, what I did was the tips I told you a while back. Let your enemies like run their army into your army, because you would always get the advantage. The second one is the diplomacy system, because that's really broken too. Because I think what I basically did was I made Greece declare war on Turkey, and I took my opportunity to just grab up as much of land as I can. At one point, Turkey was actually already dead, but I don't know how they managed to bounce back, and even they just took out Greece, so that's pretty surprising for me. But yeah, as you can see already, this is a country that's gonna scare off and piss off quite a bit of my viewers. But again, there's no political message to this. I just wanted to play the Kurds. So back to the thing I was talking about, that would be the assimilation system. So I just took out what is this, Pakistan or Algeria, I'm not sure. But as you can see, they're not that well stabilized. So they're like 11% stability. So most of the beginners, they would usually press the confirm from the right corner. But what they didn't know is if they press the center one, as you can see here, it will move you to the next worst province for you to assimilate. So probably some of this knowledge is common already, but it's good to just throw it in, because I myself didn't know this until I accidentally discovered it myself. So yeah, you just press confirm. As you can see, I wasted all my money, but this will speed up whatever you're doing way faster than it should be. So I'm not sure what to say more about this game anymore, honestly, because I've done whatever broken game mechanics I've done. Defending is usually a good idea. Summarize and, you know, abuse the broken AI diplomacy system, and you should be able to come up with scenarios like this. So again, if you remember what I said, as you can see, I also own a bit of Algeria and Libya. Again, the allies, it doesn't really matter. They would usually still betray their closest comrade for like 100 gold. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, you probably have those games where superpowers in your world is super annoying. So how do you know what's a superpower? Let's just go to economy right now, and you can see Italy, Japan, France, and China are pretty broken compared to the rest of the world. So what you can basically do is to balance the world up a bit and not have someone where they can just steamroll anyone. You can make them declare war with each other, which I've already done, as you can see. So the list here would change a bit, giving chance to smaller nation. And again, you don't want a big superpower to just steamroll over another steam power. What you want to do is basically make Italy declare on France, right? After that, you give France and Italy a hard time. So you make Spain declare war on France and make, like, let's say Croatia, Hungary, and like Bosnia, if you want, on Italy. So what this does is it gives opportunity for the smaller nation to just take up land. And what this creates is basically a disgusting border world. But yeah, that's how you want to balance the world global power, by, you know, using the broken diplomacy system. As you can see already, Russia's just divided by a lot of nations. So Russia was steamrolling quite a bit of nations, so I had to like make Mongolia, Finland. They grabbed quite a lot of the big major provinces. I think I also made Romania, but they couldn't really make it in time. Ukraine, I think they did well-ish. But yeah, you get the gist of it. And that's all I have to say actually. I'm not sure if I leave anything out yet, but if I did, I'll probably do it in a future video. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Actually, before I left off, I would just like to show you off something that I've done before. So you press new game. There's a scenario in this add-on mod. It's the Yugoslav Civil War. So I chose the Bosnians. So again, displaying this nation is pretty hard, let alone like conquering all of Yugoslavia. So my best bet is my Croatian ally over here, because they are pretty powerful actually compared to what I have. I have 326 factories, they have 2,000. But then the biggest worry for me is probably the Serbian alliance. So when I played this game, I took out some countries, my neighbors. I forgot if they had allies. From what I see here, they don't have allies except for I think I took out Croatia, but I'm not sure if they declared war on me. But basically, I just declared war on someone, and luckily, no one declared war on me during that moment. After that, I got overly ambitious. I think I accidentally declared war on a Serbian state where they're allies with. So I ended up losing quite a bit of land. So in most cases, I probably already lost that game. After the peace conference, I was lucky to just survive with one province somewhere, but I'm still alive after all, right? So what basically happened was I made states such as like Albanians, Macedonians, and like the KFOR, maybe even Kosovo, declared war on the Serbian alliance, and they absolutely steamrolled them. So what ended up happening was we took out one of our greatest rivals, and we created a pretty powerful Macedonia, but I think they're not as powerful as the alliance was before. So with a bit more alliance, like abusing the broken game mechanics, I managed to actually grow a bit, like enough to like start a decent army and just you know, declare war, proper war, instead of just relying always on my allies Croatia. So again, you probably won't do this in one try because I had to reload a couple of times. But at the end, I managed to achieve what I wanted with the broken game mechanics I mentioned earlier. Let me just show you to prove you right now. That took forever to achieve, but it's pretty satisfying once you do. As you can see, I used to be allies with Croatia, but now I think it is time to betray them. So let's just finish them off. I'm sorry, Croatia, you were my closest ally, but I want all of Yugoslavia for myself. So as you can see, I mentioned earlier, attacking always is a pretty bad idea for the attacker, and it's just better to just sit and defend your land. And as you can see, Croatia's almost dead. So yeah, Croatia's dead. I won this one. So you can see what's going on here. As you can see, at first I was doing pretty decently well, right? But then everything went super badly for me. And I'll just let the videos explain what's going on in the situation. As you can see, I got taken out by Serbia. But luckily, after the peace conference, I survived. And as you can see already, Macedonia steamrolled over the Serbians. And I was lucky that the Macedonians didn't just annex all of Serbia, and they're left with a pretty small, weak nation. As you can see, I gobbled up a bit more of land. I think I took Kosovo after that. It was a costly war. I didn't think the Kosovos were that powerful, but then I managed to take them out at the end, so that was a good thing. Sadly, in the peace conference, I didn't get a chance to get all of them though, but I think I'll take revenge on them after a while. So we just wait and see what's going on. So nothing happens, I was just assimilating my country. And again, I took out Macedonia, but I wasn't able to take everything again. But I managed to take all of Kosovo after that. And Macedonia, it's just a matter of time for me to finish them off. And we got our buddy Slovakia up there. I forgot what happened to them. If the Croats declare war. I think what I did basically was make the Slovakians declare war on the Croatians, and I betrayed my Croatian ally so I can gobble up more land. I think that's what I did, if I remember. So again, a lot of backstabbing to get what I want. And again, nothing happened for quite a while because I was just assimilating province. So yeah, we just gotta wait a bit more. Not sure when something would happen. Oh, I just took out Slovakia without even noticing. So yeah, that's basically what happened to Slovakia. I managed to cross the border of Croatia. Luckily, Croatia didn't get anything out of that war, so I was pretty lucky with that. After that, I think I decided that I'm powerful enough to betray my ally. So I just bided my time. The game would have ended by now because we were allies, but then I pressed just one more turn. I continued on the game. I think I break off their alliance, as you can see here. I completely betrayed my Croatian brothers. And we're left with the one we saw a while ago where after the peace conference, this was it. And you can see I just finished them off in one fell swoop. So that's how I won as the Bosnians. It was a lot of abusing of the game mechanics. And also some reloading because I made some stupid mistakes on my way, so I gotta admit that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I managed to unite Yugoslavia under the Bosniaks. So that's it, and I'll leave on to my outro.